So in the news and media, they are saying there is one confirmed death at the Burning Man Festival. But now we are having people at the actual Burning Man Festival, at the actual location, saying we lost a couple people.
Help. We're going to bind together,
Get radically self-reliant, dry out the furniture,
and keep the party going. The alternative is to fall into despair, roll over, and die. And we all have a choice in how we're going to handle this. So everyone open up your Starlink satellites so people can communicate with their families. Make an expedition to the edge of the city with food and water. And don't fight anybody because we're all in this together. Bury those negative thoughts in gratitude for your life because a couple people didn't make it last night. And know that we're all going to clean up this mess and get out of here. Because a couple people didn't make it last night.
And I did say in my last video about the Burning Man is that this is going to be another Maui situation where we're going to have the news and media report one thing, but the residents and the ongoers are going to report something else entirely. So far, there is one confirmed death, but confirmed can just mean there are other people dying or dropping dead, but the news and media can only report on just one. And it seems like it's the case where other people are dying because someone on the ground at the Burning Man Festival made a video saying they have lost a couple people. The problem with the word a couple can mean anything. It can mean 2, it can mean 10, it can mean 20, and so forth. So we don't know the true number behind a couple. Because if you look at it this way, there are over 70,000 people attending this Burning Man Festival. And if 20, 30, 50 people drop dead, that is considered a couple out of thousands. So we don't know the exact number of people dead because of the careful wordplay that is being used here and also being used in the news. So that leads into the next question. Now that we have somebody slipping up here and saying there are a couple people dead, what did they die from? Did they overdose? I mean, I can't picture them dying of starvation. They were only stranded for a day. We have also been hearing back and forth information on whether people were allowed to leave or not. The only people we have heard being allowed to leave are the celebrity elite, Chris Rock, Diplo, and so forth. That these celebrities were able to hitchhike out and able to find somebody to drive them out of this situation. We have also heard that other people are also leaving on foot. Yet on video, people are reporting something completely different. That they are walking on foot, yet they still can't leave. The gates are closed. Any exits out of the Burning Man Festival are closed, and they have to count their rations.
At least one person.
It's kind of a state of emergency. Everyone was asked to stay in their camps and ration food and water and not leave the premises.
Husband
bad out here. It is. There's mud. You can't really walk or drive. We have Wi-Fi for a moment, so I'm posting this. This is how Pega and I look right now. Yep, no shoes because it's really hard to walk with shoes. My boots are like 5 inches, and then the mud became 5 inches, so I was kind of on stilts. But yeah, as part of this update, we are not allowed out of the playa. The gates are locked. We're okay. We have enough tuna for a week, so we're okay.
Which I just find so odd. Why aren't you allowing people to leave by foot? I can see not allowing people to leave by car because of the mud situation and cars being stuck in the mud, but they can't even leave by foot? How does that make sense whatsoever? This is a very scary situation. It's more terrifying than people realize. And I know some people are saying these people got what they deserve because they might be practicing rituals and maybe other evils as well. But you have to understand, and like I said with Maui, if it can happen in Maui, if it can happen in Hawaii, this can basically happen anywhere. So what you're seeing taking place at the Burning Man Festival can also happen anywhere. There's a situation taking place inside this festival. We don't know exactly what's going on, but there are reports, people inside this festival tweeting out that people are sick. People are developing boils, they're hemorrhaging, they're throwing up, they're passing out, they're dying. And yet, these people are not allowed to leave. Some people are even reporting seeing people in hazmat suits. And yet, they are blocked off from leaving. This is drawing parallels back to Maui, where there's this wildfire that's raging, and people are trying to exit out, and they're being told they can't leave. There's barricades, there's police telling them to go back, and the only ones to survive that fire are the ones who disobeyed those orders. So just because you do not like what these people are doing, do not ignore what's actually happening here. Because I am watching some very weird news take place in airports where there are lockdowns happening in airports almost every day.
Police had their rifles drawn as they searched the parking lots at TF Green and sealed off all the roads leading to Providence's main airport.
Nobody knew what was going on initially, and then there were 2 cops here, and they said it was a security issue.
6 stories in a week of police finding suspicious activity at airports where they had to lock the airports down. And what I find odd, they're not exactly saying what's actually taking place at these airports. They're just saying they're finding some suspicious activity, suspicious items, and they're making people either lock down or evacuate. September 2nd, part of the LAX ticketing area temporarily evacuated due to suspicious item investigation. September 3rd, people evacuated from the Tampa International Airport after a suspicious device was found. September 1st, Rhode Island's airport locked down after a credible security threat was found. September 3rd, Boston airport locked down after FBI agents and troopers respond to a criminal act at the Boston airport. And there were 2 other events where airports had to lock down because of suspicious activity. We're not being told what, but the airports either had to evacuate or they had to lock down. And I said, every day we are seeing negative news about planes and airports lately. I wouldn't be surprised one bit with all the news we are hearing about airports that something like this will happen inside an airport next. And what I also find odd is that we have a serious situation where people cannot leave this Burning Man festival. We also have confirmed reports they cannot even leave by foot. They have to count their food, water, and fuel. They don't know if it's going to rain again, stranding them even further. And yet, the organizers of the Burning Man have declined assistance from the National Guard. Now make this make sense. The situation has gotten to the point where President Joe Biden has even been briefed, and Nevada's National Guard has offered its assistance. However, Burning Man organizers stress there is no cause for alarm. We've made it really clear that we do not see this as an evacuation situation. And I wonder who we is. Because apparently people are trapped in, they can't leave. Because of the mud, because of the weather, and they don't know if it's going to rain again. So this is a trap situation. And yet you're telling me you're not allowing any assistance to have these people leave. That right there is very telling to me that something is actually happening inside this festival and they do not want people to leave. Now apparently they do have the gates scheduled to be open today, but who knows what's actually going to happen. Maybe the weather will engineer itself again to have another bad rainstorm where it's going to trap these people in even further. And on top of everything else, they are actually spreading more diseases. Because even if you do not want to believe an Ebola breakout or another type of disease is breaking out here, they are still spreading disease because the porta potties are filled. They are using the ground to urinate and take a dump in and bury the feces inside the ground. And yet the feces is moving along with the water and the mud. And these people are stepping all in it. They're not stepping in mud. They are stepping in alkaline, which dries the foot and takes the moisture out of the foot. They're having cracks and other scars in their foot due to the dryness. And as they're stepping all in this feces and urine, I am sure they are spreading E. coli and other types of diseases. So a petri dish of diseases is taking place here. And these are the same people that are telling us we need to mask up again. We have 3 new variants of the C19 that is coming. And yet they don't see an emergency taking place here. Forget what the organizers say. Still bring the guard out anyway. Still bring help out anyway. Because even outside of food, we have a very dangerous situation of where disease is now spreading. Just like Maui, I find something very bizarre taking place here. And I hope this is not a sign of habitual things to come. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you do like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.